Well, the government first approached me back in 1996. I was sitting on my porch and two FBI agents posing as local police officers came up claiming that they were investigating a noise complaint. During the course of the conversation I had with them, basically telling them to get off my property, they pulled out a list of license plate numbers. And it turned out that there was a car parked across the street from my house with a hidden camera that filmed anyone who pulled into my driveway. Since that time, I've never relented. I've never stopped doing what I was doing because I feel that the work of the radical environmental movement and the radical animal liberation movement is absolutely crucial. I think that all life on this planet right now depends on our action, and so I've never been willing to just sit down and shut up. I've done jail time now. I've been under federal indictment before. I've faced jail sentences before. I've been subpoenaed to grand juries. I've had one of my best friends paid by the FBI for 3 years to spy on me. And I've endured it all, and I've kept going, and I think that clearly makes some people angry. I think the most positive thing that a person can do if they're sincere about making a change is that they can reject tactical dogmatism. I think one of the things that's made Stop Huntington Animal Cruelty the power that it is that we don't deny people the use of any tactic. We don't denounce anyone. We don't reject tactics used by anyone. And so on any given night across the country, you can have a Stop Huntington Animal Cruelty member writing a postcard to a corporation. And elsewhere, you might have somebody doing home picketing. And elsewhere, you might have somebody planning any number of things, electronic civil disobediences, the use of black faxing. We've also made sure that other elements of the movement, such as the Animal Liberation Front and other anonymous activists who employ illegal means, we've never denounced them. We've never rejected their passion, and so I think that that's the number one thing that people have to do. We're getting short on time. This planet desperately needs action, no matter what that action is at this point. And so we need to free ourselves from these chains of dogmatism, from pacifism, or from the other end of the scale, from the glorification of militancy. We need to embrace people no matter what tactic they choose to employ. The second most important thing that I think people can do is to educate themselves about the recent history of government repression in this country. I think people need to understand that the FBI has ran extra-legal campaigns to silence activists. I think people need to understand that within the last 30 years, activists in this country have been assassinated for expressing their views. I think that people need to understand that in the 1980s, the FBI illegally tapped more than 5,000 people's phones because they were part of mostly a Christian church-led movement known as the Committee in Solidarity with the People of El Salvador. And once we begin to understand this repression, once we begin to understand the tactics that our opponents will use against us, then we can begin to adapt our own tactics and work on meaningful change, work on creating things, tactics for our own movements that can bypass this repression.